Women's Historical Vignette. The original women's organization of the church may have been these True Blue ladies at the Galva Church location. The original name of the women in the McPherson Church was the Sisters' Aid Society. Later they were known as Ladies' Aid Society, Women's Missionary Society, Council of Women, Women's Work, Women's Fellowship, and Women's Ministries. In the 1920s, the Sisters' Aid Society acquired this house at the corner of Charles and Simpson Streets. It rented for as little as $8 a month in 1937. In 1933, it was not considered modern, so to help rent it, a new toilet was installed for $35. The house was sold in 1946 to Mr. and Mrs. John Stutzman for $2,000. The women put $1,600 into savings at 2.5% interest, better than we can get today. For many years, the McPherson women gave the Inglenook cookbook and a shower to brides and grooms. They gave baby showers and silverware for babies. Congratulatory cards were sent to graduates, and a dinner or reception for a funeral. In the 1930s, Oxidol box tops and ivory soap wrappers were collected to be turned into cash for the ladies' treasury. In other years, they saved General Mills coupons for silverware, coffee bands for a 48-cup, quote, percolator. Cancel stamps were saved to send to Nigeria to be sold to stamp dealers for money. They met weekly, often with all-day meetings and a meal. Activities of the day included piecing quilt blocks, quilting, sewing carpet rags, doing fancy work, tying comforters, making aprons, layettes, and also bed pads for the cedars. Used white shirts were converted to hospital gowns for use in mission hospitals. The women were generous with their time and their dollars during the 1940s, including $2 to buy chickens for Christmas dinner for our boys at Camp Magnolia. How many chickens did $2 buy? Fruit was sent to CO camps, cookies were made for the USO, 50 quarts of beans were given to the old folks' home at Darlow. Grease was saved for the war effort to make soap. This continued until 1959, when soap wasn't being made anymore. These great cooks helped the Treasury by preparing and serving many meals for groups, including Men's Fellowship. Other fundraisers included weddings, magazine sales, noodle sales, quilting for others, and bazaars. Between 1925 and 1931, they paid $2,500 for church construction. During the 1930s and the 40s, they made yearly pledges from $100 to $400 toward the church building debt. In 1939, quote, we voted to go on record favoring a good organ and would support it to the best of our ability, unquote. In 1941, they borrowed money to pay on the pipe organ fund, and then $200 for the organ was given in 1942. This 1956 joint women and men's project in Mound Ridge packed 102 cans of pork and 74 cans of processed lard. The mother-daughter banquet featured a sewing theme in April of 1958. The kitchen has been remodeled several times. In the 1940s, the group gave money to build more cupboards for our dishes and install a sink in the room north of the kitchen. In the 50s, they recommended some changes to the kitchen, including adding a passageway between the two parts of the kitchen. In 1979, plans for the new kitchen and a picture of the dishwasher were shown to the group. $7,000 was given for the 1980 remodeling project. Mildred Seek measured every specific item in the kitchen and helped draw plans for cabinets that would hold every piece. In 1980, most of the basement was remodeled. The two kitchen areas were combined into one open room. A pass-through was added on the east side, and the north end of the kitchen became the new women's bathroom. In the 1980s, 12 dozen sets of Corelle dishes, a refrigerator, curtains for children's classrooms, and an air conditioner were purchased. Sidewalks were repaired. In 1985, up to $3,000 was pledged for Phase 1 of the renovation of the multipurpose room kitchen. In the 1990s, a rebuilt dishwasher and refrigerator were purchased for the main kitchen, and money was given to the church kitchen fund for remodeling. Through the years, the women supported McPherson College, donating money, 256 quarts of canned peaches, lamps, rugs, beds, mattress pads, bedspreads, sheets, drapes, and slipcovers. They paid $20 toward a moving picture machine. I wish I would have kept track of how many refrigerators were bought through the years. One noticeable thing about the minutes was that early on, women were referred to as, for example, Mrs. Sargent, then later as Mrs. Paul Sargent. Then the name changed to Rowena Sargent. On one very interesting entry in the minutes, in 1932, Mrs. Heaston spoke of a request to rope off the pews in the sanctuary to get people to sit closer to the front during the services. After admonishing everyone to sit up front, the matter was dropped for the present. After reading through years of minutes, which started in December of 1926, I had so much respect for these caring, hard-working women.